Hello and thank you for joining us on the midweek edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Akeredolu Ozubakun. Today on the program, Seriki Fulani of Lagos clarifies Governor Akeredolu's order to herdsmen, says directive applies to Ondo State forest reserves and those not registered. INEC fixes November 6 for 2021 Anambra State governorship election. And later on the show, controversy over NCWS award to Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Emeka Madunagu. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. The 45th is out, the 45th is coming in, and U.S. inauguration, it is time. It is inauguration day in the world's most powerful country, the United States. Let's take you to Washington, the country's capital, where world leaders are gathered for the inauguration of the 46th President of the United States of America, Joe Biden. Live from Washington, D.C. Now, the order issued by Governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, to herders to vacate the state forest reserves is pitching the state against the federal government. But the Seriki Fulani of Lagos State and chairman of the Association of Fulani Chiefs in the Southwest, Alhaji Bambado has made some clarification over the quit notice. In a statement, Bambado said herdsmen were only asked to vacate the forest reserves and not the states. He also said that the order applied to only herdsmen who are not registered in the states. Babajide, what do you make of this clarification? Before I entered the studio, I spoke with Seriki Fulani himself, the Alhaji Bambado, and hopefully our producer should be able to get him via Skype so that he can shed more light to this statement. But yesterday, the federal government came out like countering what Governor Akeredolu actually said.
Well, I guess they hadn't even got the full grasp of what Governor Akeredolu said before reacting in the way they have reacted. I said it during the program that directive was not new. The directive was not new. The advice to Mieti Allah to do his best to identify the bad eggs who are given the legitimate herdsmen, legitimate herders, a bad name, to identify them so that the security agencies can move in and deal decisively with them, was also not new. So I don't see the need for this controversy. We just like controversy in our country. We like hitting our heads against the wall over nothing. There was nothing the governor said that was wrong. Because those forests were being used to hide kidnapped victims. In any case, you have no business being in those forests. Loggers have no business going to forest to go and fell trees. Criminals have no business staying in
The forest
reserves.
to do what?
I mean, this is the other day I was reading about Ogun State that some people even built a bridge.
Yeah, 20 million naira.
Yes, inside the forest reserve of the state, just for them to be able to transport timber that they steal within the forest illegally. So this is the thing. There's nothing wrong in what Akeredolu has said. Absolutely nothing wrong. And I'm particularly pleased with this Seriki Fulani because he has come out to clarify the thing. And when I was reading, he said, look, there's no need for this controversy. Why are we doing this to ourselves? We just like to heat up the polity needlessly. We put emotions over logic. This whole thing has to stop. Look at what the Seriki Fulani said. Akeredolu has not ordered Fulani out of Ondo State, but advised herdsmen to vacate the forest reserves and ply their trade at other permitted areas within the state in accordance with universal standard. We, the Fulani in the region, will assist the government of the day in eradicating all forms of security challenges like kidnapping, banditry, armed robbery, killings, and attacks on farmlands that always lead to wanton destruction of food and cash crops. This is the sort of Nigerian that I respect, because he has helped us to calm down
douse the tension
that some individuals have needlessly
it was taking another dimension.
Yes.
Akeredolu has spoken, this one has spoken, and
but look at what Dr. Bambado, look at what Dr. Bambado has said. This is exactly what happened there. If you go to a community, the police can go to a community and say, see, provide us with information about people of shady character in your area. I've had people say, oh, is it the business of the Mieti Allah to help in identifying criminals? Oh, if those criminals are mingling with them and parading themselves as legitimate headers, how is it not their duty to fish them out? Because sometimes even when you attack criminals, there could be collateral damage. You could bomb somewhere that you thought, okay, there is just these people alone that are there, and actually kill innocent people. So we just like controversy. But it's good that this Seriki has spoken in this manner, and what he has said makes sense. He said there's no reason for people to destroy other people's farmlands. He also talked about the night grazing, that it is during the night grazing that trampling on food crops happen. He said it's during the night grazing that they do all these things. Because even you as a farmer, you won't open your eyes and watch someone parade cattle on your farmlands. And then, of course, even the idea of parading cattle on highways, he also said that it is wrong. Remember the Nigerian hero, our goalkeeper at the Olympics.
Yes.
At the 1996
yes,
Olympics. Joseph Dosu. Joseph Dosu was returning home one night when suddenly some cattle were crossing the road and he was on a high speed. That was how he suffered that spinal injury that not only ended his career but made him physically challenged for life. So what is cattle doing on highways? What are they doing on highways? Is that how it is in other countries of the world? And when we talk about Senna climbs now, some people will be opening their mouths. What is wrong about talking about Senna climbs? We aspire to be one of those great countries of the world, examples for the rest of the world. So when we talk about Senna climbs, we know what we are talking about. Where people can stand up for what is right.
Yeah.
The same way that this Seriki Fulani has stood up for what is right and brought down the tension that some people are trying to stoke in our country.
Emeka, looking at the alacrity in which the federal government reacted to this matter, a lot of people will say, I hope the federal government could react to other matters like that. That's the way Gabriel in his press release and everything, and that thing really escalated what is on ground. Akeredolu came out, and people, ethnic groups, social cultural groups, they've started taking sides on this matter.
Yeah, I would like to say something that I said a number of times, that there is an absence of strategic communication in the presidency. The president has media aides, but he doesn't have people who deliver, who deliver the president's thoughts strategically. And so they make a lot of blunders. The same Gabriel, you saw the statement he made concerning the farmers that were killed in Borno State. You saw the same Garba Shehu, the hasty comment he made concerning those Kankara schoolboys that he later came back to apologize. And then look at this situation. I saw nothing out of place in what the governor said. I mean, he's the governor of the state, he's the chief executive of the state, he's the chief security officer of the state, and of course, he felt that certain things were getting out of hand. So he exercised his power as the governor of the state to say, okay, move away from these areas. Garba Shehu just weighed in. I felt the first thing should have been maybe put a call to the governor to say, Mr. Governor, what is going on? Then you get clarification, or you call the commissioner for information, or the chief of staff to the governor. But you didn't do, you just went straight ahead. When did you become, when did the presidency actually become an arbiter between a state, a subnational entity, and residents within the subnational entity? It should be such that if there are such, it's such the case that where you have such interventions, it should be as a last resort. The federal government, I believe, should have worked behind the scenes to find out, if there were any problems that needed to be tackled, and what dimensions, what areas. People have been killed. Was it not a deputy registrar of a university that was killed? People have been killed, kidnapped in Ondo State. We have said it on this table that Ondo State, that crime, the crime situation in Ondo State is getting out of hand. Did Garba Shehu and others expect the governor to just sit idly by and allow people to turn the state to Somalia or Afghanistan? No, the governor had to act. And I think there should be some restraint on the part of spokespersons to the president. Because look at certain statements they've issued. You find out that some statements are even irrelevant.
Yes.
They want to attack.
Some statements are meant to heat up the politics.
Yeah, they want to attack people they perceive as enemies of the president. But there are certain sacred cows they don't ever respond to.
Those ones,
so
yes.
why is it that some Nigerians are more equal than others?
Yes.
So it is very wrong, and I believe Garba Shehu should come out and apologize on behalf of the president to the governor, because what he did was an affront on the authority of an elected governor. Garba Shehu just say an appointee. There's a difference between an appointee officer and an elected officer. You don't try to infringe or encroach on the powers lawfully given to an elected official by the Constitution. The Constitution describes the governor in clear terms. So why will you now be giving instructions to the governor?
He has not even gone out of the bounds of the law.
You're just an aide.
Has not done
if there was an issue, I don't even think it's Garba Shehu that should issue it. Maybe the Attorney General of the Federation also.
Is that, look, we should not set this bad precedent. By the time the governor is asking some set of people to leave the states.
He didn't ask them to leave. You see, that is where the problem came. He said they should leave the forest reserves. He didn't say they should leave the
forest reserve. That's why sometimes too, before we respond to some even news stories, we have to be sure that what we had is the factual representation of what transpired. Sometimes you need to you get the video before you respond.
Yes.
Did he really say this? And then you interpret what he has said. He never said they should leave the state. He said leave the forest reserve. They have no business in the first place in the forest reserves. Look at our country. See the way we neglected our forest reserves. Now bandits have taken over forest reserves. Look at Rugu Forest, stretching through some northern states. It's now the habitation for bandits. Even the Kainji Lake Park. The Kainji Lake Park is now habitation for bandits. Bandits are now harassing and killing people for fun in Niger State, kidnapping people, using those forests as some form of foliage. That's not the way it should be. No. The forests were not designed for bandits to turn into their habitation. No. The forests are there so that we use them for something else, not to be the home of criminals. Yeah. And if we do not begin to keep those forests safe, then we are not ready to defeat banditry. The bulk of these forests are in Ondo North, the Akoko area. Those are the areas where people have been kidnapped. And those who have been kidnapped have spoken about where they were taken. So if we are saying this governor simply collect security votes, what do they call it again?
Security votes.
Security vote, okay. Security vote, and they don't do anything. A governor has now decided to do something about the forest reserves. He has been told his ears are full about what they do in those forest reserves. He's trying to keep those forest reserves clean of bandits. We are now saying he has no right to tell them to leave the place.
Okay.
Of course, the Seriki Fulani has now clarified that no, nothing in the world even says that people coming into a country or even a state should not be documented. They are saying that a lot of these people are immigrants, so they are not from Nigeria. They are saying that they must be documented. Let's know who they are. Let's know where they are coming from. Don't just come into our country because we are wide open like to all comers and then be killing our people.
Okay, we have Alhaji Muhammadu Abubakar Bambado, the Seriki Fulani of Lagos State, joining us via Skype. Thank you for joining us, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Seriki, I want you to shed more light to the press release you actually signed yesterday on the crisis between the Herdsmen and the government of Ondo State.
Yes, I don't have a choice than to do that, just to down tension, because there are so many tension all over the country that the governor of Ondo State asked the Fulanis to leave Ondo, which that's not true, because what the governor, he was very specific. He was talking about the forest reserve area in the state, not the whole Ondo State. So what was trending was he asked Fulanis to leave Ondo. So I had to come and clarify that that wasn't what he said. Yes.
And Seriki Fulani is the chairman of the Association of Fulani Chiefs in the Southwest. And when you want to see if we are looking for a lasting solution to this crisis of banditry across the country, what will be your advice to the government?
Well, the government has to do. There's a lot has to be done, because you need to reach out. Who are these people? Where are they from? Are they Nigerians? Are they foreigners? Those are things that we should ask. And we will find out that those people, the security operatives, have to do a lot. There are so many intelligent work that needs to be done, because you can't just fight someone without knowing where he's coming from or what he's capable of doing, and if it's among the society. So then we need to flush them out. And all hands have to be on deck. It's not just only the government, even us, the citizens, the people that are governing. We all need, all hands have to be on deck. If you know there's a serious, there's some things that you very strange things around your area, you report, and then so that the security operator will weigh in and do what they're supposed to do.
Doctor, the governor of Ondo State during that meeting said in the past that he asked the Miyetti Allah to identify some bad heads, trying to give legitimate headsmen a bad name. Is it difficult to identify some of these people and get security agencies to go after them?
It is not difficult. You see, don't forget, among the Fulanis, we even have vigilantes that are ready to assist. You know, and we've been using those people to flush out the bad eggs. You know, yes. And what I would advise is, even on the issue of this Amachakun, my own take is they can work with the Fulani vigilantes to work together to flush out the bad eggs. Yes. So it's very simple, as long as we are ready to work together. It's all about working together, coming together and work together and be able to flush all these bad eggs in the society.
Are you in touch with your people in Ondo State? What is their state of mind like at this time?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Are you in touch with your people in Ondo State at this time, in the aftermath of the statement credited to the governor? And are they now clear about the true intention of the governor?
He was one that told me that they had a meeting with.
Okay, I think we lost the signal there.
Good.
That's Alhaji Muhammadu Abubakar Bambado, the Seriki Fulani of Lagos State, and he's also the chairman of the Association of Fulani Chiefs in the Southwest. This thing should not degenerate further. It's clear enough.
No, I was even looking for what the governor said. Even where he tweeted it, it was clear. He said all forest reserves in the state are to be vacated by herdsmen within the next 7 days. That is number one. Night grazing is banned with immediate effect. Then you go on, and all movement of cattle within cities and highways is prohibited. Underage grazing of cattle is outlawed.
Yes. Underage.
Now, he said, our resolution to guarantee the safety of lives and property within the state shall remain utmost as security agencies have been directed to enforce the ban. Now, where did the governor say Fulani should leave Ondo State? There is nowhere. So, but people just take something from a statement,
they twist it.
which is clear. Thank God for the internet. It gives clarity to so many things. So you can just go refer to what the governor said. And
I think
you know that there's nothing.
mischief makers that are at work.
Just people are...
Just
Okay, the
mischief
Seriki
makers.
is back. And finally, Seriki, what would be your advice to Nigerians?
Okay, we asked him a question about their state of mind now.
Okay.
Has he spoken to them?
Hello, Alhaji Muhammad Bambado.
Yes, can you hear
Yes,
me?
Julie asked you a question earlier.
That are you in
Yes.
touch with your people now in Ondo States? Have you given clarity to the intention of the governor so that everyone is on the same page on this matter?
Yes, I'm very much in touch with them, and in fact, that was the reason why I gave that clarification. And again, I have been talking to them. There's no cause for alarm. There's nothing like that. And like the chairman of the Mieti Allah in Ondo State, I had a meeting with the governor. That was the day they said the statement came from the government. He had a meeting with them, and he confirmed to me that nothing like that has been from the governor. He told them, all he told them is that all the forest reserve areas should be vacated, and no grazing at night. It is banned, which I support that. Yes. Movement of cattle within the cities or highways is prohibited, which I support that. And underage too. So I don't see where the governor went wrong. You know, he's on track. Yes, and I told them that, look, we need to work with the government. We need to work with this for the progress of this country so that we can be able to have peace. It is very important, and we need to tolerate each other. This is not about, no, I'm a Fulani or Yoruba and everything. How do we fish out or flush out bad eggs in the society? That's key.
I want to thank you, Alhaji Muhammadu Abubakar Bambado. I want to thank you for your intervention. We pray that
thank you very much.
We achieve peace in that state. But, Ojile, this is rare. A lot of people would think the Ondo State government, they will not be on the same page with the Hausa Fulani people. This is the Seriki now, speaking now, and as the chairman of the Association of Fulani Chiefs around the Southwest.
Yes.
He's now saying all is well, that this is a kind of misrepresentation.
Yes, complete misrepresentation.
We read it here.
Complete misrepresentation.
He accepted everything the government read out.
Because what the governor said emanated from decisions reached at the stakeholders meeting. You know, when you have this stakeholders meeting, everyone contributes.
It's a concessional thing.
Let us do this. So if we do this is what we get. It's not even the decision of the governor alone. Everyone agreed that, look, we can achieve greater peace if we do A, B, and C.
Stop night grazing and
yes. What are you grazing in the night for? What for? So it's a good thing. We need Nigerians like this to help to douse tension in our land. A lot
Not
of
people that
people
will
with
stoke.
negative energy. They are the
Yes.
problem of our country.
Yes.
Psychophants.
We not turn it to an ethnic thing.
Deluded people.
Afenifere with their
You
press
know,
release, they will just come.
they will just
take
come.
sides,
You have not listened to
put up the polity.
You are not even sure that was what he said. You are attacking a man based on falsehood, based on what he did not say. I mean, it's wrong. There are some people in our country, you just look at them, I don't know, maybe
I think the presidency would have just simply put a call to Governor Akeredolu and for clarification.
No, but before putting a call, the same Seriki Fulani.
This is the role. Let's talk about this man.
Yeah, the same.
This man has done what 100 adversarial press releases cannot do. He has come out in plain language to say, this is what the governor did. Let's come together to achieve peace. And he said all of those things he agrees with. These are the kind of Nigerians that we need.
Yes.
Who stand up for the truth,
Yes.
who stand up for what is right, not caring where they come from. Because at the end of the day, people who are stoking the embers of war, some of them have one leg in our country and the other leg outside. After all, in our country now, some people they are running abroad to go and get COVID-19 vaccination, and they leave the rest of us here.
They leave the rest of us every day.
And
we know them.
They leave the rest of us here. Those ones and those big politicians who always like to cause trouble. When trouble comes, you will not see them. How many of them, when people were looting palliatives, how many of them did they find at home? They had escaped. A friend of mine was telling me that many of them were not in their Abuja homes because they thought a revolution had come. You cause all the trouble with your talking. When the trouble comes, nobody will see you around.
On that COVID, that's when we want to talk about these big men. They are all living in Nigeria.
They live in droves to go and take COVID-19 vaccine.
And that vaccination has not gotten to Nigeria to just leave us with our feet.
No, the Seriki should be commended because he said he was at a meeting and he came out. Because we've had instances of people who attended meetings and came out with different versions. But look at what he has said. You now wonder, the people who have been fighting, and the governor is a senior advocate of Nigeria. I would be surprised if he would be reckless with something like that. And what the governor said is on the internet. It is there. It's there for the record. It's on Twitter. It's there for the record. Why would people now be fighting over what is clear in electronic format?
So we thank Alhaji Muhammad Abubakar grateful for your intervention. So thank you.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much.
We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still Journalist Hangouts. We'll be right back after this breather. Stay with us.